Now, I would like to invite on stage the first Bangladeshi CEO of Standard Chartered Bank, Bangladesh. May I please have a round of applause for Mr. Abrar A. Anwar.
Good afternoon. It's great to see all the youngsters. I must thank Sharif for having this Youth Fest. I think it's a great opportunity for the people like us to interact with the future of tomorrow. And I think Yasser gave a fantastic speech, and after that, he's the #1 marketing guy in the country. So all the best to Yasser. So, well, first of all, as I've been introduced as the CEO of Standard Chartered Bank, let me spend a minute on my institution. I don't know how many of you are aware, but I will just spend a minute or so. Standard Chartered has been here, any idea for how many years? Anybody can say? It's been in Bangladesh for 110 years. And we are the largest foreign bank, operating in 6 cities, and have been the #1 bank in terms of profitability for the last 4 years. We've got 2,000 people working in the bank, 99.99% Bangladeshis. And it's one of the top 10 franchises out of the 70 franchises that we have in the world. I'm, standing in front of the future of the nation. It's a fantastic opportunity, and I'll share with you some of the insights that I've gathered in my almost 25 years banking career. And I think a lot of it resonates what the previous speaker has said. It's an opportunity for all of you, because in our days, we did not have the digital world. So there is no barrier between you and a person sitting in New York. The world is in your palm. So what you do with it, it is what matters. So you are all sitting in a great opportunity to explore the world and race ahead. And also, Bangladesh has never been in such a fantastic position as it is today. We say that it is at the inflection point. Some of the reasons why we believe it is a hugely potential country, I think the Chief Marketing Officer of Grameenphone also mentioned, but I'll also give you some perspective from my side. Bangladesh economy has been growing at a sustained rate of 6% GDP. What do we mean by GDP? It's the gross domestic product. That means the services and the productions that happens in its nominal value is the GDP. It has been growing at 6% over the last 10 years. And with least volatility in terms of the peer countries like us. If you compare emerging market or the frontier countries like Bangladesh, it has been growing very appreciably. And interestingly, it is now going to cross the 7% growth threshold. With a demographic profile of 70% population below age 35, gives a huge opportunity space in the horizon. And you would notice the center of gravity of growth is moving towards South Asia. We had the China, India, now it is moving towards South Asia. So that's why looking at you, I feel energized that, oh my God, what an opportunity in front of us. But the thing will not happen by chance. So we will have to shape our future. And if you think sharing some of my insights in my journey would be of helpful, I'll spend 20 minutes or so on that. I have a very simple background. I did my schooling in Chittagong, St. Placid's High School, Chittagong College, Commerce College, and did my MBA from IBA. But in my whole career, I competed with people coming from Harvard, Wharton, and so on and so forth. I think, but how did we compete? How did we develop as we go along? And in our days, we did not have a school like NSU. So you people are very fortunate to be here and also understanding what are the future opportunities lie ahead. If I look back at my journey so far, I can summarize that it probably has stood on few basic foundations. Finding the passion. The foremost is finding your passion. Not necessarily all of you have to do or get into a job. You can actually create your own opportunity. So if you think there is something that interests you, you have a passion for something, then go for it. Learning every day. Learning every day and taking challenges for scaling up. In an environment, you will see that there are obstacles or challenges that you will face. Do embrace that and move forward. That will really give you the sense of achievement as you take forward. Staying on course with sincerity, integrity, and hard work. That's a critical ingredient of remaining focused and successful. And getting support from your stakeholders and your family. It is very important that you remain engaged to get support from your stakeholders. So, I started my career as a management trainee in 1991 as the management trainee of ANZ Gurles Bank. Since then, I remain focused in my career in banking. So some insights that I will give you, how did we navigate through the environment of multinational corporation? First, you develop a stakeholder network. All of you must first of all think about how to develop a stakeholder network. What is the definition of a stakeholder? A stakeholder is that those individuals that will make you successful. It can be within an organization, your peers, your team members, and also externally, the people that will make you successful. So it is very important to start with mapping out your stakeholder network and then focusing on how do you nurture that stakeholder network. For example, for a banker, regulator, our central bank, Ministry of Finance, Securities and Exchange Commission, our management team members, and so on and so forth are the stakeholders, critical stakeholders. So when you map out and then you have a strategy around each network, how to nurture that and have that available when required. Develop an insatiable urge for learning. I think it is most critical. As you go along, you must keep on learning. As my previous speaker also have said, you learn from even the most youngest team member or a person who is just you have met. Plus, as you wake up in the morning, you see newspaper. So you must be having the discipline of learning from the environment and also from the people that you interact with. Some of the skill set that I figured are most critical to be successful or to be effective within a corporate environment, those are analytical skill. Analytical skill, it develops, it's an evolving skill that develops when you are actually expanding your learning horizon. Today, you have access to the world. So I think I will urge you to keep on improving your skill set by learning from the materials that you have around. Communication skills, it's of critical importance because in our work life we have seen most of the things get done through either conference call, a video call, or elevator conversation. What do you mean by elevator conversation? With the most senior individual, maybe in the elevator you will get 1 minute to talk. So, communication skill is of utmost importance. That will be developed as you become more confident with your skill set. Leadership presence. What do we mean by leadership presence? Leadership presence is the way you appear, the way you remain present in a setting. We have seen a lot of people are multitasking when sitting in a meeting or something like that. But at that point in time, what happens? You seem to be withdrawn from that situation. So, I would like to welcome Shadab Khan, Country Manager, Coca-Cola. Today is the right day for having a Coke. So leadership presence. So I was just mentioning on that. Sometimes we have seen youngsters are either working on Facebook or Twitter while they are also in a meeting. So the chair of the meeting or other people, they see what's happening. So then you are seen as a withdrawn. So as an emerging leader, you must be present in that situation and remain engaged with what's happening around. So as you progress in leadership ladder, some critical aspects remain of utmost importance for moving forward. So I'll just share some pointers with you in case these are helpful for you. First is connect. Connect with your team members, stakeholders, or if you're not even in an organization, if you're doing something social or it's a club or something like that, if you're moving towards a leadership position, first is to connect, understand the members of your team, have a human connection, have a deeper understanding, respect each other. I think it is very important. Sometimes we forget respecting each other. So leadership does not start without having a connection with the team members. Be transparent and honest. As my previous speaker also mentioned, you need to be in the long run to be successful. You need to be honest to your work, the way you do things, and be fully transparent. That way the trust builds up. The trust builds up within the team, and then you can go forward to a better solution. Be encouraging, not commanding. Sometimes we get confused that, if you are in a leadership position, you can command and get away. But it doesn't work these days. You need to encourage the team members to get the best out of their opportunities. So, having a cohesive team is the essence of moving forward. You cannot do it alone. So in my whole career that I've found, the biggest success that I got is with the help of the team members. Take blame, give credit. In many situations, there are instances that in an organization you will see that something has gone wrong. But it is the leader who has to take blame of that, and also if there is something good happening, give credit to the team. That builds trust within the team. There are saying that, I couldn't do it because maybe that person had uncle in the system or something like that. So, if you get an opportunity as you grow in the leadership ladder, always ensure that nobody sees that this person is a favorite of Mr. So-and-so. So once you have that, if somebody figures that you have a blue-eyed boy or somebody, then automatically you lose your credibility and you won't be able to progress. Be competent. Do not spend time thinking or working on buttering up the boss. I think it doesn't work. A lot of people probably made mistake in spending most of their time thinking how to, butter up the boss or make a progress through the system, but it doesn't work. In the long run, it doesn't work. I think the biggest thing that you should be doing is increasing your own value. Increase your own value and automatically you will be considered for the next opportunity. Another interesting topic that I encountered in my career is that the sooner you believe that we are all incomplete, it is better. Why? Because if you believe that you are an incomplete leader, then you become more humble. Then you try to get best out of others. That's where the diversity and inclusion comes into play. What do we mean by diversity and inclusion? That an organization runs on the basis of diverse knowledge. We have engineers, we have MBAs, we have mathematics, masters, applied physics, civil engineers, and so on and so forth. Everyone brings different skill set. So, when you have a diverse organization, it is important that the leader plays a role of including the entire diverse knowledge into a common objective. Say for example, in the bank we encounter a lot of situations that requires technological focus. As you know, there are a lot of issues happening on the security in the banking system. So how do you solve that? You need people or a team of diverse thought process, ideas and background. So, sooner you think that, I cannot do it alone, it is better it is for looking after or having an environment which is inclusive. Do not run after recognition. We have seen in my career a lot of youngsters have derailed themselves when they are too focused on, have I been recognized? Have I been talked about in the corridors that I have done this? That has, I've seen, drained out a lot of energy, good energy, just wasted, running after recognition. You will see that if you increase your own value by developing yourself, automatically your stakeholder network will be recognizing you, and you will see that. I can tell you from my career, I never looked at, am I being recognized? Just focused on doing a good job, and I didn't even know who are the people giving good rating on me. So I think I can tell you that just focus sincerely, honestly, on your job and how to build your own equity within the organization. As I was mentioning, that you need to have a good team. That's why it is critical that you develop people as you go along. Developing people has been the most critical part of my career. I always tried to recruit a person better than me, so that that same person would be asking challenging questions or will be able to do a better job. So that will keep on, I will be keeping on learning as well. As I mentioned, you must have insatiable need or hunger for learning. So that is very critical, that you focus on developing people. Sometimes, we say that what is the legacy that you would like to leave behind? What is the legacy? Legacy is basically what will people remember you as you move on. And a very crude way of looking at it is, say, I die tomorrow. What will be written in the obituary next day in the newspaper? That so-and-so has has passed away, but he was this, that, and the other. So if you think that if I pass on tomorrow, what will be my legacy? Then am I working towards that? I said that's a very, I would say, crude way of thinking. What is the brand that I'm going to leave behind? What is the legacy that I would like to leave behind? Lastly, I think it is critical that you look after yourself. Eat well, sleep well, and live a disciplined life. I would like to acknowledge arrival of popular singer Marine. Welcome. So I think it is most critical that you look after yourself. Otherwise, at the end of the day, nothing will work if you're not living a disciplined life. It is critical because in the long run, a career spanning 35, 40 years can only happen if you're keeping yourself fit for the long haul. So spend that time to remain focused on yourself as well. Be connected to the family. Family itself is a big source of strength in a career progression. That support system is critical for you to sustain, to have a mental peace and focus on your objectives. Sometimes we tend to ignore the family. I think in my career I've learned how important it is to have a well-connected, well-supportive family. Lastly, as my previous speaker mentioned, regarding taking challenges. In any opportunity that I got in my career to learn new things or move on to work in India or in UK, I took up the challenge, and I thought that that's a learning opportunity. Even though you know that you're getting into something, you don't know the ultimate outcome of that. But I think it all proved well, because if you are trying to make a success out of it, I don't think it is impossible. So I would encourage you, all of you, to explore what is out there, because now the world is open. You don't need to get into a job, but you can start something that gives job to people. There are opportunities in all the areas as the country is moving in a direction that will throw up a lot of domestic opportunities. And I can tell you the people that we have transferred from Bangladesh in our network in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in UK, China and all these places, all of them are doing excellent. Wasting time. Time is of essence. I would urge all the youngsters here to take the opportunities that lie ahead and move forward. That's about it from my side. I don't know whether there will be any Q&A or it's done. Thank you very much. It's been nice being here and wishing you all the best.